Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whenever you have the opportunity to join me. I'm Dr. Jan. This is Russell Institute of Learning Sidebar Education. I am delighted to tell you that, again, as I said a few days ago, every day I'm starting to have more and more conversations or notice different blogs or interviews that many parents are speaking up and finding that, oh my goodness, what has happened to our education system, and we need to be involved. And I've had comments that yes, we are being challenged to be better stewards of our children by being involved with their education. So I had opportunity to speak with he's a dad. His son is, I think, in college, might even be out of college now, but somewhere that he was reminiscing about when his child was a junior in high school, and that all of a sudden his son, who was very smart, had some kind of disjoint, whatever it was, but he was getting F and F and F and F. And so instead of getting real angry and, condemning, he just said, what's up there? So he started a dialogue. And they made an agreement that they would be going and speaking to the teachers. Now, no teachers are going to just turn everything upside down. But he told his son, one, you need to apologize that you did not address the teachers' concerns or involve them sooner than now. And so it wasn't at the end of the term, so he had enough time. And so they went in and, they talked about the issues that were at hand, and they looked at all of the assignments that were missing. And in the process, you only have a certain amount of time, and they then looked at what it is that needed to be turned in. And the father always kept asking the son, well, what do you think? What do you think? So that the child, the son, junior in high school, took responsibility. So often we want to tell our kids what to do, but we need to involve them in the decision because they are the ones who are ultimately responsible. And so they were able to look at, well, if the assignment was worth 5 or there was another one that was worth 20, well, which one do you think you should work on? Oh, and the son said the 20. So over a period of time, this young man was able to turn all of those F's into several A's and B's. And again, it was because the teachers, the parent, and the student were able to collaborate together and to create an atmosphere where the student was met where he was and able to overcome the difficulties. So we went on to talk, and I shared that in the previous school I was in, we had started to do what was student-led conferences. And so we would work at least a week, maybe 2 weeks in advance for students to start picking their best work and explain why they thought it was their best work, and also a piece or two that they said, this was not my best work, and what I could do to make it improved. So that when the parent conference came, we as teachers just sort of walked around. We had a little check mark, and, we were just there in case there were questions. But the student had to tell their parents, these are my grades. This is where I think I'm doing well. And we would already, in those 2 weeks of preparation, the students knew all of the questions that they needed to cover, the information. And so that it became much more the student's responsibility versus for the child to sort of sit over here, parent and teacher talk. And it's like, well, they're sitting right here, but they're the ones who are earning the grade. I always try to tell students, I don't give you grades. I assign the grades you have earned. So again, this goes to my research in finding that when we are looking at focusing at education that meets the children where they are, they also need to be involved in the assessment of what they are accomplishing versus feeling like they have no control over it. This is Russell Institute of Learning Sidebar Education. I'm Dr. Jan, and I am encouraging you as parents, as community, grandparents, please get involved with your schools. And as I was talking with this man, he said that, the school his son had gone to did require that, I think it was 50 hours of volunteer work for the parents to invest into their children's school. He said, oh, I always had more than that. I had hundreds of hours, because he also did coaching, coming for fundraisers, whatever it took. So again, that way, he said, I always sort of knew what was going on in the school because I was always there. As I look around and see what's happening in our education, too many parents, and this is not accusation. We have been in a different world. There was trusting that we sort of, hey, they're going to take care of my kids. I got work and this, that we as parents and grandparents and a teacher for other grades didn't have a clue that some of the teaching may not agree with our moral values or things that we would feel is a spiritual grounding that we would want our children to have so that they are not robbed of what we are trying to teach them in our own home. And again, I'm not trying to be accusatory or accusation against anyone, but as parents, if we want our children to come out at a certain level, not just A's and B's or C's or whatever their academic could be, but we also want them to be in a spiritual, moral value outcome as good citizens, human beings, take care of themselves and take care of others, then we need to make sure those are the principles that are being engaged within their learning environment, not only at home, but at school and in the community. Because when you have conflicting messages, then children and then they're very confused and they don't know what to choose. So again, it's time for us as individuals, the adults who are responsible, let's start sending the right message to our children that we value education, but we also value moral integrity, and we also value physical health, mind, body, and spirit. We need it all to be a well-rounded, educated individual. Please like, follow, share, comment, and I will see you tomorrow.